Hey guys, welcome. It's your friendly neighborhood bee. Let's get straight into it, shall we? From r/am I the butthole because I refuse to finish a story if my husband interrupts. That's really all I have to ask. My husband insists on interrupting any story I tell while he is present to either correct me or to add to it. The latest example was today. We are visiting his parents for Easter, and I was telling them about our plans for our vacation this summer. We are doing a Mediterranean cruise, and I was saying how it starts in Rome, and he interrupted me to say it was a cruise of the Greek Isles, which it is, and it starts from Rome, which I stopped talking and let him finish the story, which he doesn't know. He doesn't know any of the ports of call or excursions. Literally, all he knows is that the cruise starts and ends in Rome. He kept pressing me to add information. I politely declined. He said he was so anxious to talk about how the cruise started in Rome, he must know all about it. He is all sulking because his parents think he's an idiot for not knowing anything besides the one tidbit. He said I made him look bad, so he is sleeping in his little sister's room. She still has a twin bed. Luckily for him, she is with her fiance's family this weekend. So, am I the butthole for allowing him to finish every story of mine he chooses to insert himself into, whether he knows about the subject or not? Oh, hmm. That's. It seems to me that this is an ongoing issue, and that you're just done. Like, have you brought this up to him? Does he know that he's doing this? Because sometimes people just aren't aware that they're doing it. Like, it's very annoying. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very frustrating. But are they aware that they're doing it? I don't know. OP answers some questions. To answer the most common question I've heard in the comments, which of the 100 times this conversation has happened? This first time he said he didn't realize he was interrupting. 50th times or more or less, he said it wasn't that big of a deal. The last time, roughly 100 more, he said he couldn't help himself and that's just the way he was, and I needed to understand he wasn't able to change. Nope. Nope. Well, then he needs to understand that you can't change and you're just going to be quiet and let him dig himself into a deeper hole. So, pot kettle. Oh, well, I can't change. Well, neither can then I can, baby. Like, no. No, that's just kind of rude. I don't know, I guess he's trying to make himself seem knowledgeable in every aspect that you talk about. He seems kind of donkey. I don't know. He's just kind of rude. Anyway, if you like stories like this, I'm here every day, so make sure to like and subscribe. Next one. Am I the butthole for not wanting to pay for my dog's daycare? My partner, male 35, and I, female 35, have a 1-year-old dog. He wanted this dog. He was talking about wanting to get it for a long while, and I never supported the idea. I said he would have to do everything, and I wouldn't lift a finger. I love all animals, but I know I don't want to do the things that you have to do when you have a dog. At some point, he gets serious. I agree. We get a dog, the apple of his eye, his baby. When he's home, I might as well be a fart in the wind to this animal. I don't care. I'm only out of bed in the dark instead of sleeping because I have to take him out to poop in the very cold rain. I truly do not want a dog, but I do everything for this creature because he's here and he can't do anything for himself. At this time, I was fresh out of getting my degree and jobless, so I was home with it all the time. After 2 months, I get a job with flexible hours so we can have someone home with a then puppy at all times. The pay is horrible, and eventually I get let go because the manager can't train me properly because I have such restrictive hours. I'm home for a few months living off my savings. Meanwhile, quite a bit of time goes by. This was my choice. I start looking for a job again. I get a full-time job in my major that pays well. Great company, but the free daycare is over. The dog is now over a year old, so we try leaving him home alone. The dog does not like that. We're getting messages from all the neighbors, so we have to do something about it. I tried early on to get this man to practice anxiety training at a young age, where you leave and come back. He never takes it seriously, probably because he has a live-in doggy daycare, and that train is going to ride on forever, right? I think the training took anyway, because he's really not anxious alone. He just gets bored, so he demand barks. In my opinion, if we leave it for too long enough, he'll realize demand barking does nothing and goes to sleep. But people are throwing around terms like animal abuse and separation anxiety, with not so much as a Google search, if you ask me. But I feel like I'm starting a flame war in the comments already, so ignore this part. Under the pressure of criticism, he decides to give the dog away. I say we haven't even exhausted all the options before we decide to do that. We're left with the options of get a sitter or medicate. I look around and sitters are hard to come by, and they cost about the same as his smoking habit. I show him a daycare, and I've been saying I expect him to pay for it. He says he expects us to share the cost. Mind you, I still don't want a dog. I feel a strong responsibility towards the dog since we've been raising it for almost a year, but if it goes, I'm getting a cat the next day. I just feel I have to fight for it because I know it's an innocent, dumb face that doesn't know any better and doesn't know that it's about to be betrayed by us. But my partner's behavior is upsetting me, and I feel that if I pay for half of his daycare while he's still smoking, I'm breeding a monster. Am I the butthole? Um, in my opinion, I think you should absolutely rehome the dog because the dog is not being looked after properly. And do not, under any circumstances, get that cat. I know that you really want a cat, but no, don't get the cat because what if you need him to do something for the cat? Because people say, oh, well, cats are just so much easier than dogs. They're so independent, blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. No, they're not. Cats are very clingy if you actually take care of them. They tend to be very clingy animals. No, they're not. They need people. They need community. Cats are community animals. No, do not get another animal. And if children are in the cards for you, I would seriously rethink that because if he's not going to care about another living creature that really cannot take care of itself and is truly going to be a toddler for the rest of its life, a toddler mindset for the rest of its life, just with a little fur coat on, do you expect him to truly take care of a baby if children are in the mindset for you? Just something to think about. Anyway, not wanting to pay for the dog's daycare, to answer your original question, no, not the butthole, but don't get a cat. Please don't get a cat. Don't get any more animals. Next one. Am I the butthole for laughing when my little sister walked in on my parents? We've all done that at least once. My little sister, who's 12, came into my room in a panic, claiming that she can't find our parents. It's 11 p.m. For context, I'm a 16-year-old female. She said that she could see movement in our dad's van and that she was going to go and check it out. I, knowing what she might find, told her not to. But she didn't listen, and I was barely awake, so I just told her to go back to bed. I figured she'd just look out the front door and go back to bed. 5 minutes later, she came back into my room, bright red, crying a bit, and when she got no reply, slid the door open, only to see our parents both unclothed and in compromising positions. Really? Who'd have thunk it? I was, and still am, quite tired. So my first response was to burst out laughing and tell her that it happens to everyone and that it's just an awkward part of growing up. She didn't take this very well and went back to her room. Our house has pretty thin walls, so I can currently hear her getting the talk from our mom. I felt pretty bad that I laughed, but in my defense, I was half asleep, and it's currently my time of the month. So I've been a bit emotionally unstable because of it. Plus, I pretty much went through the same thing on multiple occasions and now know to just stay in my room at night. It didn't occur to me in the moment that she wouldn't listen and would go investigate. Am I wrong? P.S. On the bright side, at least I now know to avoid sitting in the back of the van. Yeah, at least you know that. Uh, I also would have let out at least a little chuckle, at least a little giggle. I would have had such a hard time keeping a straight face. It happens to all of us, man. It happens to all of us. That is part of growing up. I mean, hey, at least you know your parents like each other, I guess. You warned her, to be fair. You did warn her, go back to bed. Put your butt in bed. Don't go out there. It's fine. Nope. But at least your parents like each other, I guess. And anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.